Peace and shout out to all my inner lights out there for tuning into the Star in You. It's your boy Junus. Today we're gonna continue these readings and we're gonna talk about those that are born January 14. Um, Also, hoping you guys are having a great day out there, on this beautiful Thursday. But we're gonna continue. So with people born January 14th, the same story goes. Oh, yeah, and also with this, I kind of had to be a bit repetitive with certain information because somebody may be born January 13 and then I'm checking for somebody born January 14. And you know what I'm saying? So like certain things in the beginning kind of got to be repetitive for that specific person and being that wants to know about their birthday. So that's how some of the information may be repetitive in the beginning, but as I get to like the actual birthday and combine that with the sign, then it gets a little different. So with that being in mind, with people born on January 14th, know that you guys are Capricorns and your earth signs. With you guys being earth signs, you're going to be compatible with other earth signs, which are Taurus and Virgos. And you're also going to be compatible with water signs, which are Scorpios, Pisces, and Cancers. As far as the Cancer aspect, you'll notice that in your family dynamics, water, whether it be water or earth, you'll notice in general, when it comes to your family, you'll notice a lot of these kind of signs are in your family. It could be a Scorpio, you being a Capricorn, or you being a Capricorn and you have a Cancer in your family, or Pisces, or one of the earth sign Virgos, or best friends. But you're gonna notice that a lot of these particular elements will play a role in your life growing up, while you're living it and when you pass. Like this is gonna be a common theme. So that's just something just to know from jump. It's just a universal law. With you being a Capricorn, though, know that your opposition is Cancer. So with your opposition being Cancer, you guys have a lot of similarities together, but at the same time, you guys tend to oppose too. Have some friction because there's so much that you guys click well with, get along with. So this is just one thing, known by polar opposites. But however, though, you guys have a great love for each other, and this tends to be, and could laugh. You guys could laugh together, understand each other intuitively. Especially Cancer have a very strong intuition, and Capricorns kind of have like a I want to say like Cancers have like a intuition, but a kind of like a telepathy kind of an energy, and Cancers have the kind of like a similar strong intuition, kind of like the Leo energy, if that makes sense. Like they have that kind of heart in a way, like that kind of compassion. So between the Cancer being nourishing, having that water-like quality, and the Capricorns kind of understanding that, and they have a lot of heart, there's why the two of them go well together, and sometimes the relationship could be very warm and nourishing, simultaneously. So I just want to make you understand that a little bit. With you being born as a Capricorn too, Capricorns are fighters, very resilient. They don't really back down. They tend to be cool-headed, but like their fellow brother Sagittarius, if you like swing at them a certain way or you try to come a little funny style, they'll shut you down. Like they'll just be very direct with their verb and they'll just tell you how it is one time and then keep it moving because they don't really like tolerate funny energy. They're pretty straight, they focus on family, they focus on their goals, so they don't really got time for nonsense and BS like that. So that's one thing. Like Sagittarius could be a little playful. Capricorns don't. When they say it, they'll stay and make sure it hits. That's probably like that. That's why you probably see a lot of Capricorns who are boxers like Muhammad Ali, Roy Jones, Bernard Hopkins. You know what I'm saying? They're just straight to the point, hit right straight to the point, keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? So that's just one thing with the Capricorn energy. And you guys really appreciate and admire family. And sometimes female Capricorns tend to suffer in the beginning of their life or get some type of abuse from somebody, family member, something like that. But the female Capricorns do suffer a lot, and this is something that is kind of common and part of the karma, so that's just something to understand. With you being born on the 14th as a Capricorn, Capricorns in general, I feel similar to Taurus, they have a lot of reserved energy. But sometimes I feel like the Capricorn is more out there versus the Taurus. Taurus could be, but I feel like sometimes the Capricorn, you can see it, like when they move or they're doing something, you can kind of see that energy like come into play. But definitely when the Taurus wants to get into it. But with the Capricorn energy, it could be reserved, but it's there and it's very dominant. Capricorn is known for being very athletic too. So they have a lot of strength, They have very strong bone structures, you know, so they could make great athletes. So with that being in mind, with the 14 energy on top of that, you could harness this athletic quality within you and be very energetic and move about. You know, sometimes the earth signs or something, they move a certain way, step by step, could be kind of methodical, you know, especially the mountains, go climb little by little. But with your 14 energy, you have a lot more energy and you can move boom, 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 you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just too much. But with the disciplining energy, because you're Capricorn and this Capricorn is a sign of discipline, you'll kind of know how to balance that energy versus if you're like a 14, maybe born like what's a crazy sign, maybe like a Sag or or something with like a very, you know what I'm saying, like maybe even like a Libra 14, you know, just like be like crazy. But overall, though, with that discipline thing, you'll know how to kind of like manage that energy and keep it in check and control and utilize it for your purpose. People that are born the 14th, you know, such as yourself and being a Capricorn, you guys have very strong vision. Like you have a foresight like no other, to be honest. But you may not always know that about yourself because in your lifetime as a 14, you get tested a lot. You know, and one of the places you may get tested may pertain to your lust, actually. You know, you can actually be a lustful person, but you have great charm about you. So this could kind of like dampen that vision a bit. But overall, though, you do have very strong vision, you know, as somebody born on the 14th. You know, so keep that in mind. And also, as Capricorn, like I was saying, they move little by little to get to step. Like for you, you invite change. You know what I'm saying? That's something that's not something that's out of the norm for you, and you endure it. It kind of makes you appreciate that a lot. You admire that a lot. It's something that makes you feel alive. You know, being in different settings, changing, going with the times. You could adapt to certain situations because you're born the 14th. It's not hard for you. You know what I mean? And as a Capricorn, if you were to get in a position of power, you would actually make a great boss being born the 14th. You know, you just gotta like be careful to not be so overly confident with it. You know, I mean, confidence is always a good thing, but I guess don't make that convert to some kind of cockiness. You know what I mean? But with your vision, and if you're a Capricorn, be put in that position, you would definitely be able to like to manage everything really well and tell people what to do, how to do it, and it would work in the long run. So the 14th could shift the game, you know, as a quality, people born the 14th. So there's one thing to know about yourself being born on the 14th. Also, another thing with you being born on the 14th as well, like I was saying, be careful for those tests. Like, and just in your lifetime, you may get just tested a lot, and even not, I don't know, you know, like even like, it's not sickness, but you even could get into accidents at times. Like sometimes you may get into a car accident or something may crazy life and death situation may happen and you'll survive it. Like there's something in your frequency that shows that you being born January 14th. So there's just something to keep in mind. The other aspect I was saying, like though you're energetic and you like change and going being out and about, but with your quality too, you do like a nice home. You do like time to chill, be to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like in that environment too, especially if you be in an earth sign. You know, as Capricorn just like a very chill spot, tranquility. It don't need to be like the way Taurus wants it, but they want something clean just as earth signs in general, you know what I'm saying? But the one thing you do have to be careful for is the fact that you could get tested. And another aspect too, you have to be careful for too, is your jealousy aspect. It's hidden, but it's there, you know, like, but because you're a Capricorn, you have your discipline. And if you utilize the 14 energy to work hard and whatever you do, you'll be fine. But if you like stumble a little bit and you fall back and you don't make those necessary changes, you're gonna feel that jealousy aspect within you kick in more. So that's one thing that's there if you being born on January 14th. You know what I mean? But however though, change within you is not hard to do. So there should be no reason for you to even step into that place of jealousy, you know what I mean? Unless maybe it could be with like relationships. If you're carrying multiple relationships, then you may fall into that pit. People born the 14th of January too, you know, sometimes they say Capricorns are, they could be frugal with their bread, they could wash their bread. If you're born the 14, you'll be a little bit, you'll share a little more, you know what I mean? But everything you do, it still has a purpose behind it. With you being born on the 14th, when focus, you know, you're a builder, and you may even be attracted to things like real estate, properties, that kind of dynamic. If you being born January 14th, you know, consistency for you is very important. You know, you had the discipline already, and you being born January 14, you also have the consistency. You know, you just got to make sure with those high energies of change and shifting that you just make sure you stay on that path or on that particular project and complete it so you can move on to the next. Because, you know, if you have some energy, something may come, you're like, oh, and then jump something else. But you have enough discipline to make sure you can kill that project, whatever you need to accomplish to move on to the next, you know what I'm saying? And then carry on the same energy and not feel exhausted, you know? So these are things to keep in mind if you're being born on January 14th. One thing if you're being born January 14th also, you know what I'm talking about, right? Compatibilities. I love the compatibilities, you know, like I like the compatibility aspect because I do numbers, and for me, like I feel literally whatever color, race, gender, like the numbers will connect you and you'll realize that it's the combination is endless, you know. So like compatibility and bringing these certain aspects, people together in that way while talking about somebody individually. But for me, I like to talk about compatibilities and see how people click, if that makes sense, you know. Like I think that's dope, you know. And I feel like the universe put us all here to be connected. So and the numbers is how I see it, so I just here to explain it. So with that being said, for those that are born January 14, know that the 1 and the 4, it breaks down to a 5. So if it breaks down to the 5 vibration, it falls within the mental plane. And within the mental plane, the numbers that fall into the mental plane are 2, 5, and 8. So when you see the 2, 5, 8 fall into the mental plane, this will mean that you'll actually be compatible with these particular numbers and vibrations, and it won't be something uncommon to see a person with these vibrations in your life, you know, whether it be best friend, like I was saying, fam. Same thing going with the sign elements. You being an earth sign, being compatible with water and earth, it's not gonna be surprised you being born on the 14th that these particular numbers won't be in your life too. So when I mean twos, I mean like people born the 2nd, born on the 20th, or even the master number 11, or with people born the 5th, the 14th, or the 23rd, or like people born the 8th, the 17th, or the 26th. You know, these particular vibrations click well with you because you fall within that mental plane being born the 14th. So it's not going to be a surprise that you meet these kind of numbers in your lifetime. So these numbers will be compatible with you and you'll click well with them, or you'll learn a lesson from them all on how they combined. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you meet somebody born the 8th and you're born on the 5th, you're gonna feel like when you guys are together, you'll understand each other mentally, but it feels like you guys gotta work really hard to get something started. But once it starts, like that consistency will flow. But so there's be challenges, but other numbers in that vibration will be different. If it's somebody born the 2nd and you're born the 14th, you may actually have a very strong clash with that particular number, actually, even though you guys will click spiritually and certain things, but something will just feel off. So that'd be like the kind of exception, even though the 2, 5, 8 all click. If a person was born on the 14th and then meet somebody born on the 2nd, that's the exception. You may actually feel like a hard clash where you're like, I don't want to mix and mingle with this person too much. But that particular energy will definitely help you to learn a lot about yourself. That I could tell you and confirm. You definitely know more about yourself internally. So that's just something to keep in mind. So in that particular field, you'll see that, yeah, there's combinations. Spiritually, you click well. On a spiritual level, you'll click well with somebody born on the 5th. The 5th, you'll find that this person, the two of you have a lot of energy, very spontaneous. You'll feel very fiery too. Like you'll feel very fiery. You'll actually attract a nice crowd towards you, whether it be an intimate space or a large space. So that's the kind of energy if you were to meet with somebody born the 5th, you know, y'all would be very talkative, out and about, you know what I'm saying? Just having a lot of good time traveling. And that's another thing I forgot to mention. As a person born January 14, always travel. always be out. You know what I'm saying? With that energy, people won't, and Capricorns they're confident. So that people see that characteristic about you. That's something to keep in mind. Also another combination that goes good with you are also people born. Here we go, the pause it again. I ain't cutting nothing off. We're gonna go straight through these videos. Another combination. Let's see. Eights. How could I forget about the eights? But you see, like I was already saying, these are like special combinations when I talk. Even though it still in a way falls into that plain 2, 5, and 8. But the 8 in a way would be a great combination with you being born on the 14th. It'll bring out this master number 22 vibration, the 14, 8 together, 22. And if you know about the master number 22, it's about productivity, about building. You'll have a spiritual connection. You'll have spiritual protection if you're doing the right thing when it comes to the 4 elements, being earth, air, fire, water. There's like a spiritual connection when the two of you are together, and there's like a purpose that needs to be set for others to kind of experience and learn from. So that's one thing. And it breaks down within the physical plane, breaking down to that 4 energy, meaning that you kind of had to like put out a vision for others to like kind of see. So there's something that could be rare, but it's a great combination if you're to meet somebody born on the 8th. Also, nothing, before I leave right now, I forgot to mention, with you being born on January 14th too, you'll also, don't be surprised if you attract Aquarius, if you're being born on the 14th. Or if not Aquarius, even Scorpios, because you're already an earth sign and you have that 14 dynamic. So Aquarius or Scorpios could be really drawn to you with you being born with that 14 vibration. And even Geminis. Geminis. Well, I don't want to say don't click with Geminis because you're born January 14, more than likely you will actually click as a Capricorn, at least understanding, or you guys will have a good time together as friends. So, you know what I'm saying? But some other Capricorns may not really click well. So if that makes sense. So that's just something to keep in mind as well. There's so much information. You know what I'm going to? I'll get into how it's gonna be for you actually. How it is gonna be for you for year 2021. You guys being in the year 2021, being that's the year to 5, this 2021 vibration actually is gonna click well with you. This is a great time. If you are single, you may meet somebody that finds you very attractive, very special, dive into a relationship. But if you aren't, this is going to be a very loving, intimate moment for you. Like the money, right? Capricorns, yes, being the sign, that likes to be successful, get that bread and all that. But this particular year for you is going to be a year where you want to balance out who you are, be around the people that love you the most. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of year that's dedicated for you right now for the year to 5. You're going to see if you stay in that space, things will open up the way they're supposed to and opportunities will set where they need to be set. But you don't really need to focus too much or force yourself to be in that hustle, that grind this year for you, being born on the 14th. Because like if you're on your spiritual path or like tranquil for yourself, you will feel this energy. It's going to be very magnetic. Like you're going to be even more attractive. You're going to have more radiance to you. You're going to be even looking more appealing. People are going to find you more attractive, if you're out. But I know it's COVID, so we're more indoors. But this is just the energy and presence you're going to have being born on January 14th with the year to 5. And also to keep in mind too, you'll feel like your intelligence too and your wits is a little bit more heightened and sharper. So these are certain things to keep in mind with you being born on January 14th for this year. The only thing may arise from you really negatively would be some type of anger. You may have too much fire within you because you're gonna have a lot of fire. You're gonna be a very magnetic person, individual. So yeah, that's it for now, I guess. Let's cut it off abruptly like that one, y'all. But I'll be back for more tomorrow. You guys could definitely tune in for more and DM me on the Star on You 22 at my IG or at Just Junis also on IG. Check out more content. If you're feeling the shirt, hit me up on my DM too, Sell you something. But definitely stay tuned for more on the Star on You. Definitely enjoyed doing this one. Shout out to everyone out there, my inner lights. Peace. and let your inner light shine. Peace.